We are in Baden-Baden during the traditional annual meetings between insurance and reinsurers, and also as a novelty for this event, this year we had the first edition of the Georgian Evening, one of the most attended events in Baden-Baden this year. Georgia is a young and vibrant market who wants to introduce itself to the insurance international community. Give us some details about the Georgian economy and the Georgian insurance market.
Thank you very much for inviting. Definitely, Georgia event in Baden-Baden was really important, not only for us and Georgian insurance companies, but also most important that a lot of investors, reinsurers, other companies, international companies are here, and it was a good chance to understand more about Georgia, meet directly to the businesses, and have future plans regarding insurance and developing insurance in Georgia. Georgia is a small country, population about 3.7 million, and of course economy also not as big, but economy is growing average 4-5% GDP, and which is one of the highest figure in Europe and Eastern Europe. Itself insurance sector is starting after Soviet Union disintegration, forming in 90s. Today we have in Georgia 17 companies, about 20 brokerage companies. Market maybe not as big, but still growing. However, we need to have different kind of insurance to be existed in Georgia. So far, we don't have MTPL and also life insurance, which is usually big shares in any country's market. So it exactly shows that Georgian market is promising, despite it's already revenue is increasing, written premium also increasing, compare of course to range of the country, and if we have this new products, for us new products, then of course market will be growing even better.
Because you mentioned earlier the MTPL, I know that one of the most challenging issues on the Georgian market is this introduction of MTPL. What is the current stage of this process, and how should the system, when and how will the system start working?
MTPL law is already submitted to Parliament. We anticipate to be passed by Parliament by end of this year, and it's usual practice shows after a few months it will be operational, but exact days will be mentioned in the law. So I think in 2020 we will start with MTPL in Georgia. And there are several options how to start for every cards, or also idea at the beginning start with the government cards, physical judicial persons cards, and then for private cars. Just if somebody wants themselves to have insurance, they can do. Today, only up to 7% of cars have MTPL insurance actually.
From the operational point of view, what challenges do you see once the system will get in force? Because in other CE countries, in other countries that enforce MTPL, you know that this brings a lot of problems.
Yes, we researched, of course, these problems. We well aware of what's happened in different countries, what cases existed, and we are prepared for that. Usually problems are that registered cars maybe in Georgia like 1.3 million, but actually cars could be much less, could be about 1 million. How many of them will be registered in reality? It should be forced by legislation and some acts that they should have insurance. So it's not definitely easy task. And the companies usually for first and second year not gaining much, but when you are establishing, and the Georgian companies also fully understand. We are meeting on this issue many times, discussing, and they are well aware that from the beginning it will not be easy. But when they, after 2-3 years, when you have a statistics, when you have a real understanding how many cars are insured, what the losses are, what the profits, how the premium correctly set, it should be also could be revised. So it's many aspects of introduction of MTPL, which is not easy issue, but we are ready to do it.
We wish you good luck on this issue, and we'll see how things will evolve in the next year. But coming back to my questions, Georgia is one of the most trendiest touristic destinations at the moment. It plays for tourists from all over the world, but this comes with the increase of expenses for health insurance, because probably some of the tourists that are coming to Georgia don't have travel insurance or some sort of protection. How can you comment upon this issue, and do you consider a form of regulating this problem?
Yes, very good question, because we are thinking already regarding increasing tourist activity. Definitely brings tourists in the area who doesn't have a health insurance, especially in Georgia is a mountainous place, and some things also happening because it's a mountains, you know, there's a walking tours, climbing tours, skiing, and definitely they need to have they must have the health insurance. One problem is here that Georgia is a very open country for tourists. What does it mean? Because you don't need visa. For about more than 50 countries, you're just coming to Georgia. At the airport, you're showing your country's passport, and the list available in the internet. And if you are in the list from this, all European countries, for example, they are Canada, America, and many other countries. So you don't need any visa, just entering. So a little bit difficult to enforce then if somebody where should ask you have or you don't have this really health insurance. How to do it, we are thinking how to do it the way that it will not be creating problems like lines or enforcement to purchase, and in the airport when the flights are coming it's a little bit difficult, you know, but technically it's possible to do, and we are working on this issue, and it's very important that all tourists have a good proper health treatment, and Georgia has this access to health places available, but definitely they need insurance for that.
We discussed earlier about the potential of the Georgian insurance market. You have some international players already present in Georgia, and I'm referring here to Vienna Insurance Group, Euroins, and more recently a broker with a global presence like Marsh. But do you expect other international players to enter the market? What are the advantages and the opportunities offered by the Georgian market to the international players?
Currently in Georgia, I mentioned we have 17 companies, and 6 companies already have investors from different countries. I mean, from Austria, VIG Group, Hualing, Chinese group, from Turkey, Euroins from Europe, and definitely from Azerbaijan, one company. Majority share owner from Azerbaijan. So it means that it already has an interest, and we really expecting that having MTPL and then life insurance, some big players also could come. Also, we are theoretically expecting some mergers as well and acquisition, because you know, when market is growing, usually this is the actions which usually companies are doing, merging and having to have stronger together than the weaker separate way. Therefore, I think also regulations we are doing, our authority also will help that healthy companies existing in the market in order to be assured that consumers' rights will be fully supported and defended, and also companies will be financially in strong position that they can meet all requirements and the losses in some cases.
From the supervisory authority point of view, what are the main priorities on your agenda for the next years?
A major agenda, so we are the authority who sets the policy in industry, insurance industry in Georgia. We are protecting consumer rights. We are monitoring solvency issues of the companies, and of course, doing this, we definitely thinking how to make a broader and increase insurance market. Today, only 1.3% of GDP is a insurance market in Georgia, and in European countries it's usually 7, 8, 10. Of course, we cannot move right away to 7, 8, but definitely to increase to 3%, it already will be very good move. And for that, exactly, we should again stress that MTPL and life insurance introduction will be serious steps and will boost the insurance industry in Georgia.
If we should leave the participants from Baden-Baden with one message regarding the Georgian market, what would this message be?
This message will be, please visit us, please see and monitor figures, indicators, what the economies, insurance companies have in Georgia. It's on our website. Also, Spring will do in spring, in April, Georgia conference on insurance, and if they will attend this insurance conference, they will really hear much more interesting about the sector.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to have a talk about the Georgian insurance market, and see you soon in Tbilisi in April 2020.
Thank you. You are welcome.